Well, hello and welcome to today's status chat for 9/18/25, episode 273. The title, Target Rate Cut In and 30-Year Mortgages Are Up. Now you can find this status chat over on the status chat playlist on the YouTube page. Hit the square above with your camera, freeze frame it, whatever it takes. It'll take you straight to the playlist, and that's what we want. Easy and convenient. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, let's talk about what we got going on today. We have much heard that everything depends on rate cuts. Everything's going to be so much better. We're going to have more affordable housing, not directly because of prices, but we're going to have it because we can get cheaper money and afford a bigger home, bigger everything with the same amount of money because our payments aren't going to be bigger because the rate is lower. But now what did we actually see? Well, before we get there, let's go ahead and take a look at this article that we have. It is the monthly new residential construction. It's a report from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And there we have it. So this is for September 17th. Just yesterday this was out. Let's see what they have to say. I think we can see the big numbers right here. The summary, without zooming in on it, says building permits were at 1.312 million. Housing starts were at 1.307 million. Housing completions were at 1.608 million. And of course, the next release is roughly a month away. Now, the building permits, privately owned housing units authorized by building permits in August were seasonally adjusted annual rate of 1312000. This is 3.7% below the revised July rate of 1.362000. and 11.1% below August 2024 rate of 1.476000. Single-family authorizations in August were at a rate of 856,000. This is 2.2% below revised figure of 875,000. Authorizations for units in buildings with 5 or more were at a rate of 403,000 in August. Now, that's enough of that. We're going to slide it up there and hit the housing start. What we want to look at is this is 8.5% below the revised July estimate. And we want to look at this from 2024 being 6% below August of 2024 rate. So we actually see housing starts are actually not quite as bad. Perhaps it depends on what number you want to look at. And the completion is right there if you want to see it. Again, as always, I will put this link to anything I have on the description or in the description on the status chat over on the YouTube page. And you already saw the QR code there just for you. Now let's go to our next page, and that's about where we're going to get to our numbers. We have our Mortgage News Daily, 30-year fixed rate mortgages right there. And this range is from September of 2024 to 2025. That's 1 year. And we see that we went up, and we were expecting our rate cut for a while, and yet there we are. It's falling. We get the rate cut, and the Mortgage News Daily says it jumps up. Now, from 613 to, let me see if I can get it to hit it, to 637. So that's really not a significant jump. We just don't like the way it looks on paper that it's coming back up after we got our cuts. Now, the interesting thing that I find when I look at this is last year when they cut the rate after having been beating that drum that we're not going to cut the rate until we see 2% inflation. But we had election coming, and Freddie, Mr. Charge of the Fed, fast guy there. We've got very, very good Jay Powell, who just said, well, we're not going to do it, and then did it. We had a similar result. We saw a spike up in rates because we had been telling everyone, well, look, we're anticipating the rate cuts. We should see rates go down. And in fact, right after they cut it, they jumped up. And I think what a lot of it may be getting to is why they cut the rate. Now, we like cheaper money, but we don't like unemployment, and we don't like inflation. So here's the thing. When the Fed cuts the rate, that's usually a bad sign. Just is. Now, what do you say we get back over to our chart? Let's hit our numbers for this week. There we have them. Last time, 9/11/25, we were down a little bit with 29,268 in the availables, up 45.71 in the under contract, and 16% in the under contract ratio. Now this period, 9/18/25, that's a week later, we see that we're increasing to 29,854, and we see we decreased on the under contract. That's 44.51, not a lot, not significantly, and the under contract ratio, that's just those two numbers divided out at 15%. So there we have it. Things are maybe looking a little bit better if you want a cheaper rate. I don't think that this temporary spike, if it's just the one-day kind of action that we got going on, we need to watch it over the next week and see if they'll rebound their rates or what, because there generally isn't a good understanding of why the rates took the opposite direction like they did last year, except that perhaps that was the wrong move to make. Perhaps this is the wrong move to make economically this year. We don't know.